I wanted to talk about some big highlights that so far have happened for me. Today is May 6th, 2020, so far I have accomplished the following things. So the one that I'm really proud of is I set up my blog finally. My website, thoughtsonstickynotes.com, is live, and the layout and the design, everything is minimalistic, and I did it for a purpose. There is intent behind it. Part of it is just like I wanted to spend little time doing that, but the other reason... Okay, my neighbors are doing some repairs at 9 p.m., but that's fine. The design is very minimalistic, but that's how I wanted it. I might add a few things here and there, but right now it's working. It's pretty fast. I'm glad I've invested the money for hosting, for proper hosting. I can actually host as many websites as I want, so I'll have a website for my music project. I will have a website for my nonprofit, Path to College USA. For my music project, it's going to be elenicus.com, and for a bunch of other projects, yeah, there will be a website. There will be a lot of stuff that's going to make them look legit. Cool. So the blog, the website, thoughtsonstickynotes.com, I believe I finalized the design for it maybe around mid-April, or maybe April 20th or something like that. It took me actually maybe like a week from beginning to end, probably less, maybe like a weekend. The bulk of the work actually happened over the weekend. I'm using a very simple theme called Ocean WP, and I don't think I use anything fancy. I don't think I even use a plugin. Like that's the kind of simplicity I'm going for. I'm just trying to make use of what WordPress itself has. So that's one thing. I started writing the articles for the blog pretty heavily, I think around mid-March. That's when I began, maybe at 7 or so a.m. in the morning before work. I would just sit in the kitchen and crank out draft after draft articles, because I knew that at some point down the road I will have a website. So I didn't want to be in a position where I would build the website and then I'd be like, well, what do I put on the website, right? So like I tried to have all these pieces for the website already sort of pre-filled in. So I had drafts for my blogs, right? I had those ready. I had all these social media links for my website. I had all the sections already kind of thought out beforehand, so that I don't panic when I just begin building it. I'm doing it all on my own. I mean, there's YouTube, so I'm not really on my own, but I'm not working with someone, like an agency, or there's no freelancer that I hired to do this for me. I'm doing this all on my own. I'm learning a lot on my own, and I like it. I found myself in those mornings of mid-March to mid-April. In those mornings, I found myself very inspired to write about career, job searching, what to do while you're on a job, and learning, being a perpetual learner, trying to basically get better every day, no matter what. Yeah. So that it wasn't initially maybe even the intent of my blog, but that's what I felt like writing about at that time. So I felt like, well, let me just write something that I'm inspired to write about. And I don't know, I like it. I don't know if the blog will be specifically career related, but that will be definitely a subtopic. I'm really proud of the fact that that is the topic that I'm inspired to write about, because if at the end of all of this, if I can help one person to get a job or to learn something about their job or about themselves, cool. I feel like I was successful. That's awesome. I was actually pretty consistent with my workouts, and I have been consistent for years working out in the morning. I have my little morning routine. It's nothing fancy, it's just the things that I've learned and picked up along the way of training in Taekwondo, and I also took a semester of yoga in college. And most of the time, it's just like doing some basic stretches, basic warm ups, just to feel better. Because, sometimes you wake up and you feel kind of sore. So, doing this stretching at the beginning of the day actually makes a huge difference for me. And I feel the difference actually the days when I don't do the stretching in the morning. I feel the lack of it. So, I'm glad that I kept going with this morning routine and these morning exercises during the pandemic and all for the last couple of months. In fact, I feel like I've actually added onto it, and I've been dedicating more time to it. And I also bought a pull-up bar, so I've been posting videos on Instagram called 10 pull-ups a day will keep the doctor away. Basically, this is not to show off or to brag. This is more to show people that we need to take care of ourselves. I try to motivate people and inspire people. I also want to make a point about consistency, and I want to make a point about not making excuses. The place where I do these pull-ups is actually right here. This is the closet door that usually is open. I put my pull-up bar in that closet doorway, and I basically get to work. If the only place in your apartment where a pull-up bar can fit is the closet doorway, do that. If you don't have a pull-up bar, do push-ups. If you can't do 10 push-ups, do one push-up. I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right? Social media activity. That's another highlight because I'm a total noob in the whole social media world. Believe it or not, I'm a young guy, but for the majority of my life, ever since social media came up, I was very passive about it, and intentionally so. So right now, though, when I'm trying to build something, I'm trying to build my blog, I am having some business ideas that I would like to promote and distribute in the future, I realize that I need to know all of this stuff, or at least a little bit about it. So I'm glad that I have the time now to make posts on social media. I have time to interact with people, to see feedback. I have time to kind of feel out all these different platforms because they're all different, and you really need to understand how they work to be successful at them. So I'm really happy for the extra time that I have now to invest in this. The few podcasts that I've been listening to, I feel like they were really, really helpful. So like the two that I mentioned, Tim Ferriss show, James Altucher show, I feel like they have inspired me to go about my days during the lockdown here in New York with this mindset of how do you make this time the most productive time that you can. And I think something that really spoke to me from those podcasts, and I think both of them mentioned that I think Shakespeare or a bunch of other big people wrote or researched some of their best work during the plague. I think Newton was the other person that was mentioned in the podcast. So I felt inspired by that. I don't know. In no way am I gonna associate with Shakespeare or Newton, but the fact that they did it inspired me to also think about it. Like, man, maybe I should be trying to accomplish something more out of this, and not just take things as they are for face value. Editing videos, so I've had some time to edit some of my videos, and maybe actually work with editing on my phone, which is pretty cool. I have a Samsung Galaxy S10, and it has some basic video editing features built in, so that is really cool. It allows me to produce a lot of this content for social media pretty seamlessly. I don't even need to touch my laptop for it. So I like that a lot. Yeah, so the other thing is I had some time to get back to playing guitar, and it's like the love for it came back, if you can say that. It never went away, come on. But now I have this extra time, so I have an entire list of songs that I want to learn and practice. So I'm feeling very inspired, actually. Believe it or not, I think if there's anything that I should take out, or you should take out from this video about me, is this time, for the last couple of months, I was actually feeling very inspired. It sucks to say it, and I'm sorry. I know that a lot of people have been going through difficult times, and I feel for you, and I'm really sorry for what's happened to some of the families, to a lot of the families. But that doesn't change the fact that I should approach this time, with a positive mindset, if you will. So I'm really grateful for the fact that despite of all these circumstances and constraints that we were given, basically I find ways to do work that I've been actually postponing for a long time, and I feel very motivated to do it. Cool. Thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. I know we are 15 subscribers and counting on YouTube. I mean, I really don't care about the numbers, to be honest. I think that whoever wants to subscribe, be my guest, I will really appreciate it, but I don't want to get caught up in the numbers. I really feel great about what I do. I feel like what I do here with Thoughts on Sticky Notes, and really every project that I'm involved with, it's coming from the heart. It's coming from the right place. And I feel like I have something positive to share with the world. I feel like the message is good, the information is valuable. So I will keep doing this, and I hope you find it useful, really. At the end of the day, I really hope that you find this information useful. So yeah, until next time, everyone.